Now, Russian foreign minister says the U.S. attack on the Syrian airbase only played into the terrorists' hands. Sergei Lavrov made the remark in a phone call with the U.S. counterpart, Rex Tillerson. Lavrov said that bombing a government that's fighting against terrorism creates additional threats for regional and global security. A Russian top diplomat stresses that Washington's claims accusing the Syrian government of using chemical weapons in Idlib are, quote, inaccurate and inconclusive. He's called for a thorough and impartial investigation into the incident. Lavrov and Tillerson agreed to continue their discussion during their planned face-to-face meeting next week in Moscow. Joining us out of Australia now for the story is Mimi Al-Laham, Syrian activist and political commentator. Hi, Mimi, and thanks for joining us back on the program. Now,
thank you.
Sergei Lavrov first wanted to probe into alleged chemical attack in Idlib be concluded before anything. So why didn't that take place in your view?
Well, I think it didn't take place because it would prove that the Syrian government wasn't behind the siren, and the person who was responsible for the gassing of children is afraid of being exposed, and that's likely not only the Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Idlib, but their handlers in the West and in Israel, who have set up this false flag well in advance. The Syrian government gave up its chemical weapons in 2013. The OPCW confirmed this, and the State Department of the United States at the time also confirmed that there was no chemical weapons, that they themselves took them and destroyed them in the United States. This is the trend that the US does. In 1991, they disarmed Iraq, and in 2013, they came back and accused Iraq of still having chemical weapons. Even after OPCW inspectors said that they no longer exist, claiming they had intelligence, they took the world to war, and this is exactly what's happened again. Same scenario, and indeed, Trump himself said the former administration was responsible for creating ISIS and did so on purpose, and now he's following their exact foreign policy, which tells you that he too is helping ISIS.
And why do you think Trump was so quick to react in this case without, corroborating evidence on anything taking place on the ground?
I think that they needed to act quickly because they were afraid that the evidence coming out was going to basically wipe out their lie, and the emotions will calm down. Basically, Trump has, over the last 3 months, been completely isolated from the people who originally pushed his campaign forward on the ticket that they would not start World War III. And he's surrounding himself with people like Kushner while kicking out Michael Flynn and Bannon. And these people have always been neocons. His daughter's husband, Kushner, who now the entirety of Twitter is trying to get fired because they are aware of his influence over Trump. He was working with George Soros, who again works with Clinton, who has been pushing for the Syrian war the whole time, who also happened to work for the Nazis in World War II. So it just, these are the same people. It doesn't matter who switches hands. Trump, as soon as he gets into power, all his anti-war narratives just dissolve, and it's quite humorous to compare his statements now to his statements only 3 months ago when he was saying that senators need to stop trying to push us to World War III, and now he's doing this himself.
Thank you, Mimi. That's Mimi Al-Laham joining us out of Australia, Syrian activist and political commentator.